So let's get started with the slide deck. Okay. So this is the agenda for today. We're going to talk about the new app platform in Windows Phone 8, application development models, the Windows Phone runtime environment, which is a subset of the Windows runtime from Windows 8. What are the supported application models? And maybe get to some touch base with getting started with Windows Phone 8 app development. What do we need to do? And then we have the new features overview. Actually, there are lots and tons of features really for Windows Phone 8, which is quite actually exciting for me as a developer to see what's inside for the and to show these with you guys. And then I think we'll stop on the new features, and maybe like we can continue later with using the Windows Phone developer tools, like the emulator and the new tools available in the SDK. Because what's new in the Windows Phone smartphone as a platform, we've got the new multi-core chipset. From hardware's perspective, we've got a new graphics processor, increased RAM, 1 giga or 512 megabits. We've got more screen resolutions, megabytes actually, more screen resolutions, removable encryptable storage, NFC. We've got a lot of other stuff that we'll be exploring later in the next few slides. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not moved. Okay, it moved. Good. So we've got something really great about Windows Phone here, Windows Phone 8, which is the shared Windows core. What is the shared Windows core? Just to take a look at what on the left here, we've got the Windows Phone 7.x, which is a 7.5 of the latest one now, and in the middle we've got the Windows Phone 8, and the right we've got the Windows 8 tablet or slate. So in the Windows Phone 7, we've got the Windows CE. But while for the Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8, we've got there are a lot. There's what we can call a shared Windows core, which is the Windows NT. That's what Windows Phone 8 is running. So it's a new operating system with a new kernel and so forth. So what does it mean that we have shared core between Windows Phone and Windows 8? It means that components such as the kernel, networking, file system, multimedia, they are the same on both Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8, which makes life easier for hardware manufacturers to work with the same drive model on both platforms. It even gives us an extensibility in terms of Windows Phone platform into the future, so we can even expect to have a more robust with more features for Windows Phone in the upcoming versions. Hopefully, I'm not sure which one is coming next. But what does it does not mean that the developer, as for us as developers, does not mean that we can work exactly with the same APIs. Though there are some APIs, there are a lot of commonalities between the APIs that we can use, and the new features that we can use between Windows Phone and Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8, but not exactly the same in each and everything and each and every aspect. So moving forward to the Windows Phone 8 programming APIs. This is the Windows Phone 8 programming APIs. We've got three types. We've got managed, which is the .NET API for Windows Phone. It's exactly the same one that was for Windows Phone 7.1. We've got some more for Windows Phone 8, which is the .NET and Windows Phone runtime APIs. We've got also another way, which is a mix between the managed and the native, which is the Windows Phone runtime. And we've got also the Windows 32 and COM, which is the totally native one. So as for the .NET, we've got the Windows Phone 7, the XAML, and with the C# or Visual Basic, or XNA with XAML and XNA with C# and Visual Basic. And then with the managed and native, we've got Windows Phone 8 XAML, C# and Visual Basic, which is the Windows Phone runtime with the .NET, the new one. And the Windows Phone 8 for the XAML, C# and Visual Basic with the Direct 3D graphics. And as for the native, we've got the DirectX 3D for game development or working on DirectX or Direct 3D applications. So, as for the .NET API for Windows Phone, we've got this is kind of the primary managed API. It includes all the types and APIs from Windows Phone 7.1. and contains the classes and types from the system and Microsoft.phone namespaces. The good thing that we have got new classes added to the Windows Phone 8, such as the wallet, the voice over IP, external storage, maps task, and a lot of other classes as well.
Moving on to the Windows Phone Runtime API. Just the Windows Phone Runtime is a subset of the full WinRT. Just for people who do not know what's a WinRT, WinRT is the kind of the backbone for the for Windows 8. It's used to develop applications for the new interface. We're using projection of C++ and some of the classes to be projected to WinRT. The good thing about the Windows Phone Runtime being a subset of the WinRT in Windows 8, that means that that allows the sharing some of the actually sharing classes and code reuse between both platforms. So if you are using or developing an application between both platforms, if you're managing to make an application that runs on Windows 8 and runs on Windows Phone 8, then actually maybe using the Windows Phone Runtime API could be your best bet. So it's implemented in C++ and projected into C#, VB.NET, and even C++. As for HTML5 and JavaScript projection, not available on Windows Phone 8, unlike Windows 8. However, you can still use, with the support of the IE10 on Windows Phone 8, you can still consume HTML5 and JavaScript within your IE10 browser. So you can use the browser control and consume that within the browser. We've got also, for the WinRT, we've got 11,000 members in the WinRT. 2,800 of them are adopted in the Windows Phone Runtime, and we've got 600 more members just dedicated for the Windows Phone Runtime. These are the ones, needed specifically for the phone, like the voice over IP, lock screen, and the different speech synthesis. Because we don't, as far as I remember, that we don't have speech APIs for the Windows 8, but we have that for the Windows Phone 8. So for you as a developer, if you are running or if you're targeting developing apps on Windows Phone 8 devices, just for the Windows Phone 8 devices, I would rather go for the .NET API, the normal. But if you're planning to share code between Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8, then you should use you should use the Windows Phone Runtime API. So like here in front of you, you can find a table between showing the .NET API versus the Windows Phone Runtime API. Like and the differences between the naming of them. So if you're using the .NET for the isolated storage, then most probably you use the system.io for the isolated storage. But if you're using the storage on the runtime, then you have to use the libraries and the Windows.storage. And there are a lot of other stuff as well. I'm hearing a lot of. Are there any questions? I mean, so far?
No.
Okay, good.
But someone's saying sound is not clear. So.
Okay, is that for all of you or just one?
Looks like one.
Okay. Thanks, Amin.
Welcome.
So just for the sound, if the sound is not clear, the session is being recorded. We'll share the link with you during the week. So just if you need to review something, and you can please feel free to reach me through Twitter or what have you. If you have any questions on the phone. So moving on to the Win32 and COM API, this is like for the native. So in addition to the .NET that is just available as a managed code, and the Windows Phone Runtime, which is classified as managed and native, we've got like purely native, which is the Win32 and COM APIs. So you have access to these WinSoft for low-level networking, camera APIs for native code apps. Things are also related to memory, the task memory, and writing files and reading files. That I think if you're a native code developer, that would be definitely something that you'd be looking for. You can definitely add these things to add a native project to the solution of yours, and having you can have like a native with a managed and so forth. But we're not covering this actually during this session. But maybe in the next few one of the next few sessions, we're going to cover this one. So what are the app models that we have here? there are a lot of ways that we can use develop on Windows Phone 8. There's the normal XAML UI. So managed apps, we can have the managed apps, which is using the XAML application, through that, using XAML to define the UI for our application, and then using the normal, if you are a Windows Phone 7.1 or 7.x developer, then you're definitely, this is the one you're familiar with. Using VB or C# as your coding language, and XAML as the one defining your UI. And you have access to .NET APIs and the Windows Phone Runtime API as well. We've got also XNA games using managed code. You can where you can develop games for Windows Phone using the XNA framework. But just for you to know, you just have access to the .NET 7.1 APIs, not the Windows Phone 8 APIs. So that's why when you start creating an application, or just using the template of the XNA from your phone, you won't even have the choice of selecting which target device you'd like to have, whether it's a 7.1 or it's an 8.0, because it's just for 7.1. It's the same exact project template as the ones in the Visual Studio 2010. Just for the record, we have Ahmed Abulmagd here. He's the technical evangelist in Microsoft Egypt. He's with me in the room here attending. So please, Ahmed, if you have any additions.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to add that any application or any game that's created on 7.1 will work on Windows Phone 8. You shouldn't worry about that if you want to make an XNA game.
So if you're an XNA developer, that you can definitely use this one. If you have applications or games on, if you have games on other competitive devices, like I don't know, in Android or iOS, you can definitely use then you'll have to use another choice, which is the DirectX C++ native. So that one is really helpful in importing your application from other platforms. The Windows Phone 8 SDK supports native development, including significant subset of the Windows 8 SDK, to enable you to share code between the Windows 8 and the phone, especially for native apps. And with the addition of native development support, Windows Phone 8 reduces the need to port and maintain components such as compute engine, graphic libraries, and API sets. You can just do that, like sharing the code between both apps, between both app versions. Someone is not up. So it's a Direct 3D app. Again, as we've said, we've got also Direct 3D and XAML, where you can build applications using the XAML as that would incorporate graphics created by Direct 3D native library. So you can add a powerful graphic to the XAML UI as you call it. So just Direct 3D and XAML development. It can be an attractive choice for you if you're a gamer or something, or you just like to work with the graphics, or you need to add a lot of graphics capabilities into, make use of the graphic capabilities of Direct 3D. Then you may also want to use some of the features only available to manage apps such as tiles and XAML control. So that can be a good choice for you, Direct 3D and XAML. So this is available in C#, VB, and the C++ categories in the Add New Project file you find in your project template. We've got also the XAML managed and native. So Windows Phone 8 SDK supports the development of solutions where the primary UI is written in XAML using the C# or VB as the code behind. But where a native project also is included to perform some processing in native code. So the use for that is like if you need to do some low-level thing and using native code, you can add a project and reference that as well. So this allows, as we've mentioned before, this would allow you to port some of the existing components written in C++ for other platforms to Windows Phone, and allows managed apps to use them. So that's really a huge plus for developers who are really into graphics and who like to work on C++ and keep using stuff and those everything, image processing, compute models, software rendering, everything that we need native code for really increased performance. And as for HTML5 app development, as we've mentioned before, it's not supported on Windows Phone 8. However, However, Windows Phone 8 includes the IE10, which is another shared code base with Windows 8. Exactly the same. I mean, like there's a huge shared code base with Windows 8. Great support for HTML5. You've got like double the feature support compared to the Windows Phone 7.5. Four times faster in terms of running the processing engine of the JavaScript. So you can build, so as we mentioned before, you can build HTML5 based apps, and we can render that in the web browser. Again, it's local or web based. Okay. So all you have to do is just go to your Visual Studio, create a new project, and then under the Visual C# tab, you can just select the Windows Phone HTML5 app, and then you can just go and get started. So, getting started developing for Windows Phone 8.0. So getting the tools, the SDK is for free. Anyone can download the SDK. You can go to createdemsn.com, or that was used for the 7.x. And we used to call it App Hub. Now we have the Windows Phone Developer Center, or the Dev Center. Just to cut it short, we call it Dev Center. It's got like everything related to Windows Phone. You can just go to dev.windowsphone.com and just get started. You find the SDK, you find material, you find a lot of stuff. You can download samples, you can, participate with the community, submit apps for testing, and you've got the dashboard and everything so that you can get started. And you'll find even,
I'd just like to add that the support feature in the Dev Center is really, really good. They usually reply within 24 to 48 hours, and 99% of the time the problem is solved, whether it's submission or if you have just a development question as well.
Yeah, thanks, Ahmed, for the note. So, the development PC requirements, that can be for some developers that can be not like a blocker, but like from a technology perspective, it's a great thing. To start developing on the system requirements to run Windows Phone 8 SDK, you need a Windows 8 64-bit client version. You need the hardware minimum of an 8 gig of free disk space, which is not like a big issue. A 4 gig of RAM, which is recommended. A 64-bit of motherboard, that's another thing. As for the emulator, can be which I found a lot of students developers that have issues with the emulator.
Mohamed, there's a question. Virtualization is not supported in some PCs. What they can do if they want to make Windows Phone 8 apps?
Okay. Yes, it's not supported. However, you can. The problem with the virtualization is in some PCs, the emulator is developed for Hyper-V. So it needs to. The problem with the emulator is that it needs Hyper-V support, which is like, as you said, it's not supported in a lot of PCs. So the problem is you cannot test on the emulator. However, if you've got a real device, you can develop and then deploy directly to the device, to your Windows Phone 8 device for that.
Sometimes you will find Hyper-V deactivated by default, so maybe sometimes you can check the BIOS settings when you will run your PC and activate virtualization.
Yes, actually, and this is what we're gonna show in the next slide on how to check if your laptop or your PC supports the virtualization or not, and how to activate it. But it's different.
Yeah, exactly like you said. We're about to show you what a testing tool that you could run to check. Pretty much, if you have any processor, should be fine. Usually, the problem with most PCs out in the market now is that the hardware doesn't support virtualization. So when you open your PC, check your BIOS, like you said, and just enable it. Sometimes some PCs will actually work.
Any more questions, Amin?
No questions.
So as for the second level address translation, so it's required to run the Windows Phone 8 emulator. And as Ahmed mentioned a few moments ago, that PC that supports the second level address translation. If you've got i3, i5, i7, or i9 Intel based processor that I mean, like most likely would run normally, or you've got a CPUs based on Hallam, Westmere, Sandy Bridge microarchitecture, they should work as well. So to determine if your machine supports that or not, you can download. You can just follow this link, and then you can download the sysinternals core info, and then you can go to run, and you can take snapshots if you want, and I'll share that with you if, after the session. So you shouldn't worry really about the links. So then you should run core info-v, and then if you got the asterisk next to the EPT, so you'll find this you find either one of these output in the command prompt. If you got an asterisk here, that means that you're in a good shape for running your Windows Phone 8 emulator. If you got a dash sign, then you can't run. Unfortunately, you won't be able to run your emulator on that machine. But again, you can still deploy on the device if you've got. At least that's what I've really tested so far. So you do not need a Windows Phone developer account to download the SDK and start developing apps. However, you do need a developer account to unlock the phone for development. And for people who don't know what unlocking is, it's just like for development, you can just deploy on your device. You need to go to the dev center and through an application that gets installed with the SDK. You can register your device and unlock it, and we'll show how to do that as well. So you need the developer account to unlock the phone for development, submit apps for testing, and getting published in the Windows Phone Store. So yeah, and it used to be called Windows Phone Marketplace. Now we call it the Windows Phone Store. So to get a developer account, if you have an MSDN subscription, then you're good to go. If you're a student, you get it for free through DreamSpark subscription. Else, if you're a professional or something, that most probably you'll have to pay the $99 charge per annum for individual developers. So all you have to do again is go to our dev center, which is dev.windowsphone.com, and then you'll find how to register and all the required things. So a quick overview. Any questions so far?
No questions.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, a quick overview of new features and of new features for developers in Windows Phone 8. We've got new tile templates and tile sizes. In Windows Phone 7.1, we just had actually we got two sizes, but we one was just available for partners like hardware partners, which is the one which is the wide one, and we've got like another one which is that was the normal one we've got here, which is now we can put like the medium or the flip tile. But in Windows Phone 8, we've got 3 tile templates for developers that they can use and customize, and for users to customize their screen as well, choosing to customize their start screen. We've got the flip, which is the one similar to the 7.1 tile template, which is the one in the middle here. We've got the iconic, clean layout designed to reflect Windows Phone design principle, and then the cycles through up to 9 images, and we'll have a session on how to, from a developer's perspective, how to manipulate this and code that and customize that for your application. We've got also a new feature, which is the lock screen. We used to have a permanent image for lock screens in Windows Phone 7. However, in Windows Phone 8, your app can register you can register your app as a lock screen provider. So, for example, I have on my Windows Phone 8 device, I got on Nokia 820. In my Nokia 820, I can easily, and I downloaded the Facebook application. I can make the lock screen image, which is like, for example, here in the slide deck here. I can just assign the background image to be from the albums or on my Facebook account or something. So it keeps changing every specific time. So that makes the phone more lively and really more personal, represents me as that's what the core of Windows Phone 8 is. That was all about. So, and you can do that active if you're a developer. You can do that with your application. You can make the application change the lock screen. You can make it capable of being registered to your lock screen. We've got new launchers actually. So launchers are APIs that help the user to perform common tasks. So you can use the launchers in the Windows Phone 8 to save appointment. We've got these new launchers to save. I mean, we used to have that to add contacts and emails and so forth. Now we've got saving appointments, sharing media tasks, the map downloader, map updater, map directions. We've got a lot of really good stuff that we can use in Windows Phone 8. And we'll also have a session about. Oh, sorry. We'll also have a session on how to do that as well. Oh, just let me get this off. Okay. As for the maps, we've got new maps controls. Bing Maps control from Windows Phone 7.1 is still supported but deprecated. The new maps controls use technologies supplied by Nokia, but we just quote maps control. So it's the technology of these maps are supplied by Nokia. Got a lot of new features. If you are like if you like really to do deep in maps, there's the vector base for faster rendering, the 4 cartographic map modes for the road, aerial, the hybrid, and terrain. We've got light and dark color modes. We can display landmark and pedestrian features. There's been a lot of improvement in the maps, a lot of controls that you can use.
And don't worry about the Nokia APIs or the new maps being able to use them on Nokia or other phones.
Yeah, because I got this question whether these maps are gonna work on other devices other than Nokia, or they're just gonna work on Nokia devices. Actually, this is part of the SDK and the API. They should work fine on any Windows Phone 8 device. We've got also location and location tracking. Okay. No, let me just next. Oh. Okay, don't know why the slide deck doesn't want to move. Okay, so location and so we've got new location API in the Windows Phone runtime, similar to the Windows 8 location API. So if you work with the Windows 8 location API, you'll find a lot of similarities between them. The Windows Phone 7.1.NET location API is still supported. You can use background location tracking apps that would run continuously in the background. The user navigates away. You'll find you can run trackers turn by turn navigation, so that would enable such scenarios. We've got also speech. Speech is amazing actually in Windows Phone 8. I've used speech a lot and given a lot of sessions about speech, and we should have one in the next maybe in January, I guess, as far as I remember, according to the agenda. And then the good thing the good thing about the speech APIs, it's not like just you just giving voice commands to the user. So you can like we used to have like this normal voice command like call my friend, or like run this application, open calendar, and this thing on Windows Phone 7.x. On Windows Phone 8, actually you can customize voice commands. You can allow users to run an application and even grab some information from inside, or open a specific page within their application, not just the main page. There's also speech recognition. We've got text to speech. You can make your application read some text. There's also speech recognition. You can set which is similar to the one actually the one that's on the phone. So you get the same experience, and that's all open for developers to make the applications talk and be more interactive and live. We got also the wallet. In the new SDK, we introduced the wallet, which users can use to collect coupons, credit cards, memberships, loyalty cards, and more, all in one place. You can manage the payment instruments that users use in the app and music store. You can link items in the wallet to apps on the phone. You can make contactless transactions using NFC. NFC is near field communication. We can have a session on NFC and how to pair devices using NFC. But just making contactless transactions, which is kind of using your phone as a way of payment, but this is not allowed in all markets as we speak. It's just allowed in some markets. Just to put that as it's part of the SDK, but it's not allowed worldwide so far. So this is how kind of like these are examples of how we can use the wallet and these stuff. We can have a session on wallet if I find like a lot of you want to use the wallet in your application. But okay. So UI controls, we've got new controls in the Windows Phone SDK. We've got the long list selector, flat lists, group lists. If you've worked with definitely if you've got a Windows Phone 7.1 device or 7.x device, then you can easily find the long list selector. We've got the pivot and panorama now in the ROM. We've got web browser control based in the IE10. There's also a lot of setup controls and things, the toolkit that you can use in the link of phone.codeflags.com. There are a lot of things that you can use, like the list picker and these stuff. They're still there. They're there for Windows Phone 8. I just blogged about it right before the call. All the Windows Phone actually resources on my blog and on Twitter. So if you just follow me on Twitter, you'll find the link to my blog where I posted all the links to Windows Phone 8 resources if you need. We've got 3 screen resolutions. We've got the 800 x 480, the WXGA 1280 times 768. We've got the really high resolution, the 720 pixels. So we've got a lot of good stuff, different screen sizes, not just one device screen resolution thing, which is really cool. And we'll talk about how you can do that in terms of development and so forth. As the cameras and the photos, we've taken the camera to a next level. We've got lenses, which is an extensibility to apps to provide unique camera functionality via the camera APIs. So you can use like a viewfinder experience, interact with the camera. There are a lot of things that you can use with the lenses actually. There's also the get preview image method that we have now to return thumbnail images. You can upload your photos and also upload them through a resource intensive background agent. We'll have a session about background agents and how to use them. We've got also advanced camera capture APIs for apps to require fine control of the camera. Can get you a bit. You can get like if you're really into cameras and image processing and these stuff. We can we've got like really advanced camera capture APIs that you can use to customize your app and according to the need of your application to the logic. As for the media, we've got the music media library. You can add, remove music files from the music collection, save song, delete, a lot of stuff that are really cool. You've got also the pictures media, get thumbnail, as we've said, get preview, picture, image, and show the thumbnail. The background, the audio as well. We've got the voice over IP and video chat. This is something really new. You can create voice over IP apps that allow users to make audio and video calls over the data connection. Someone is okay. Someone's on. Do we have questions?
No, it doesn't look like it, but they're asking how are you going to share the recordings with them?
Okay, recordings. I can definitely through my Twitter. I'll tweet about them, about the links. I've got a channel 9. I'll tweet about them. Just follow me on Twitter and expect the links to be there. If you're part of the Midnight Developer Contest with Nokia and Microsoft, then definitely you'll get a link about this recording. So you don't. I mean, if you're a registrant, you don't worry about the recording. If not, just follow me on Twitter and then I'll tweet about it. Any more questions or?
No.
Okay. So for the voice over IP and video chat, again, voice over IP apps are integrated into the built-in phone experience, so that, for example, incoming calls are displayed the same the phone UI as regular cellular calls. So, for example, this is the Skype app we've got here on the screen, and then you can just have the answer and the ignore buttons. You can just like if you press the start button, you can see like as a kind of a toast notification that you're having a call. The duration is exactly the same experience that you have with a regular call, which is something that's really good. Bluetooth and NFC. So you can create apps that communicate with other phones using Bluetooth technology. The Bluetooth API enables you as user enables the following scenarios for Windows Phone 8 to have app-to-app communication, app-to-device communication. We can go through the Bluetooth scenarios in the Bluetooth session. We've got also proximity API enablement. We've got the app-to-app communication using Bluetooth technology. You can use the phone to interact with NFC tags. If you need to know about NFC tags during our NFC session, we'll have a actually I've already developed my NFC applications. It should be published soon. So I've really went through the NFC and how to and writing tags and leveraging the new NFC thing that we have on our Windows Phone 8 devices. So the good thing about one of the things that you can use with NFC, you can have a better sharing. So on two devices that each have a near NFC. Again, NFC stands for near field communication. So on any two devices that have a near field communication chip, which so far, as far as I remember, I know all Windows Phone 8 devices, they all got the NFC chips in them. So if you've got like two Windows Phone 8 devices or Windows Phone 8 device and a Windows Slate or something that has an NFC chip embedded, that you can use that for sharing photos or even like pairing between devices or so. Just tapping the phone, simply tap the phone and then you then you can share whatever you want. It's a new technology, a very good thing. It's really growing. It's really growing, and I believe that we can do a lot of stuff with NFC, and we'll have a session for that. Other networking enhancements. If you're into networking, we've got the Windows Phone Runtime API. So the networking.sockets, it has been adopted for Windows Phone 8, implemented as a Windows Phone Runtime API. Makes it easier, whatever supported programming language you use. We also got we've enhanced the .NET API for the sockets, incoming sockets, which means your app can listen now for an incoming network connection. There's a support for IPv6. There's WinSock native API support as well, which helps you porting existing native libraries that use the WinSock API. Storage, we can read from SD card. Apps can use the Microsoft Phone.Storage API to read files from an SD card, which was not available in 7.x. Users can also use SD card to extend device storage for the personal files and media. You can install apps from a micro SD store. We can do that. We can show how we can do that even later during one of the sessions about the storage. We've got a custom contact store. This is a very, very cool feature actually. So on Windows Phone 8, you can create a custom contact store for your application. When you save contacts to this store, they will appear in the phone's People Hub. So, for example, just to give you a quick example and showing how you can do that, or like a quick example. So, if you have an application, I don't know, new social media thing, like we can call like our social media site, and then you can make this application that would add to the People Hub. For example, like if you go to the People Hub and you'll find like mention on Twitter or right on the wall, you can add a new feature that would be integrated in your People Hub as well. So when you save contacts to this store, they will appear in the phone's People Hub, integrated with the user's other contact details. So your contact store can use the standard set of contact properties, such as the name, address, and so forth. And you can also store custom properties for each contact. So you can add actually custom properties for your contact, which is something that really adds a lot of customization, a lot of things that you can make even your phone even more personal. So the contact store APIs provide a mechanism for you to kind of enumerate changes between your custom contact store on the phone and a contact store you maintain in a cloud service, for example, in order to synchronize the two stores. So we've got also file and protocol associations. You can use file and protocol association in Windows Phone 8 to automatically launch your app when another app launches a particular file type or protocol. So for example, if a file association allows your app to launch to handle an email attachment, you can also use the association launching API to launch another app based on a specific file type or protocol. So for example, you're creating a file with an extension .abc, then you can, so for that .abc file, you can run another application that would run this app. So if you get an attachment with an .abc file, you just press on the .abc and then you can launch you can use the association launching API to launch another app that would run this or can read this file. In-app purchase. We've got now in-app purchase, which is if you are a gamer, if you play the games online or so forth. If you the in-app purchasing now you can use. We have now that available in Windows Phone 8. Available for development. You can where you can use that to sell virtual products for real money. So we've got like Microsoft servers hosting the catalog of products that are available for an in-app purchasing application, including price and descriptive metadata. So just to give you a quick example, like if you have an application that, I don't know, you have to buy ammo to continue killing the bad guys. So if you need to buy, a more advanced weapon or something, then you can use an in-app purchase to buy these stuff. And so Microsoft provides a commerce infrastructure, including methods for users to pay in 190 regions around the world. So you have got a big coverage and discoverability for this. So you can use the in-app purchase for that one as well. So in-app purchase used for digital content, we've got something called the two digital assets. We've got durables and consumables. Durables where you buy once and own forever, like a new game levels, maps, game items, something that you, like for example, if you're using Angry Birds, you just buy the maps or the new levels for Angry Birds, you just buy it once. So that's a durable, but also a consumable. For example, if you're renting movies for some time, or you're buying like the ammo and the ammo will or the ammunition will end, or you buy extra health, that thing is a consumable. So you have to so that's another type of what you can do with an in-app purchase. Moving on to localization and globalization, we've got right to left and bi-directional support in Windows Phone 8. We support languages Arabic, Hebrew, Persian. Anything that reads from right to left, that was not supported in Windows Phone 7 Protect. Now we have it in Windows Phone 8. We can use a lot of things like flow direction to set these up. And we've got a lot of actually stuff to do. I'm not sure if we're gonna finish on time. Hopefully we do. The consumer storage coverage. We've got 120 plus new stores. In Windows Phone 7.0, we've got only 29 stores, the ones that appear to you now in yellow. And for Windows Phone 7.5, for SDK they're known as 7.1, we've got 63 more countries. And when we're talking about consumer store here, we mean like people can buy apps or can use their phones to buy applications, to buy other applications. And now with Windows Phone 8, we have 180 plus countries. So these are all the countries covered for Windows Phone 8 that uses. So actually we've got like the biggest coverage so far. So for Windows we've got over 180 countries. For other platforms, as you can see on the screen, we've got the best coverage in the market for now. But for developers, which means if you are a developer and you need to submit your app and get paid and for Windows Phone 7.x, we've got 38 countries. We're just covering 38 countries. For Windows Phone 8, now you can submit apps from 180 plus countries as well. So, which is a really good opportunity for you developers to submit apps and make money. As for the languages, now we've got 50 languages, 26 new. In Windows Phone 7.5, we just got 24 languages. In Windows Phone 8, we've got 26 new languages, including Arabic, Turkish, a lot of really good, the Persian, a lot of languages that you, I don't think like there's any language missing there now in the full collection. But now moving to the Windows Phone 8.0 development tools, let's just skim through them a bit quickly, and to tell you, for Windows Phone 7.1, we used to use you had to have the Zune software connected to your PC installed. Use that for synchronizing media, perform phone updates. For Windows Phone 8 devices, just required only a USB connection. And there's this app in the Windows Store that you can download. It's called Windows Phone app, I guess, that you can use for synchronizing your phone with your PC. For developer registration, again, as we mentioned earlier, you need the developer phone registration to register your device to unlock it, for example, so that you can deploy. All you have to do it comes with the SDK. You just connect your phone, press register. Your phone gets registered. You need an internet connection for this one. You can have up to 3 devices per developer or per account. And for students, you can register just 1 device at a time. So you can, for example, if you have your phone stolen or broken or what have you, so you can just, or you bought a new phone, so you can just go online and remove one of these registered devices online. So you don't have to worry about having the phone with you. You can just remove the registration from online and then register a new one and replace that. Deploying to the phone, Visual Studio lets you select the target device for your program. You can use the emulator, which type of emulator, the 512 megs, that one you can use for the 7 to test low-end devices or 7 point low-end devices, and the other emulator for different screen sizes you've got. So you can target device program which would fit your the available device in the market. Application on the phone. Once you've deployed an application on the phone, it's stored on the device for later use. You're limited to 10 of your own apps. So I can deploy 10, a maximum of 10 apps at a time. So I think that's a good number for if you're a developer. You don't think you need more than 10. Other than that, all you have to do is just publish that on the store and download. And of course, you don't have a limit for downloaded apps from the store. But just for testing and these stuff, you can have 10 at a time on your phone. Visual Studio debugging, we've got for the Visual Studio 2012. You got like breakpoints, single stepping, a lot of great stuff you can use for debugging your Windows Phone application. We've got also the emulator. The emulator, as we mentioned before, the emulator runs actually a full copy of the Windows Phone OS inside a virtual machine. So you can debug your apps on the emulator pretty much the same as when running on the real phone. So the emulator contains most of the complete Windows Phone experience. It does not have the browser and it does have the browser and will provide the phone behaviors for things like placing calls, sending SMSs, emulating even phone cameras and GPS and motion sensors if you may use. You've got also the simulation dashboard in the Visual Studio. You can use that to manage emulator environment. So, for example, if you have the emulator on the phone, you can use that to simulate the lock and the unlock of your screen. You can use that to control the quality and availability of the network connection. So you can set like I want to test my phone the application of my phone under 3G, 2G, and connection or Wi-Fi and these stuff. Emulator performance, just like please, if the emulator is not a reliable way of predicting how a program will perform on a real device. It's just more into the functional testing only. So if you have concern about performance, if you need to test performance, the best thing to do is to have a real device and test on it. We've got also deploying to the emulator. Visual Studio lets you select the target device for a program which runs. The emulator is started and the first time you deploy to it, it will then remain running until you stop it. And again, maintain the local storage during that time. Okay. I think we've mentioned about the other things that we deploy to the emulator and these and you can use. The emulator interface, you can use the mouse to control the emulator. If you have a multi-touch display, you can use multi-touch points to pinch and zoom on the display. So that's a good thing. The emulator will emulate the touch keyboard, so you can type by clicking on the keys. For me, for example, my laptop does not support touch. I don't have a touch screen on my current laptop. So and for me, like if I want to type a website or something, it can be a bit hard to use the mouse. So I just press a page down and page up to toggle the keyboard and just use my laptop's keyboard for a text input. You can use the emulator for orientation. Just clicking on that button here, you can test orientation and orientation changes in your application. There's also camera emulation. That's a thing that you can just take a simple photograph and resume it. It will give you different colors with different locations. So that if you need to take more than a picture successively, you can know which picture is that. There's also location emulation. Windows Phone application can use the emulator to generate location data. You just press in the additional tools. And then you'll get this new window that you can use to move you can click on any location to move the emulator to that position. You can also place push panes to describe a route and then replay that route to you for future coding. Lock the screen in the emulator, and this is the dashboard we've talked about. You just we got the dashboard. You can simulate a lock screen and unlock screen. You can simulate. You can even enable a 2G, 3G, 4G, Wi-Fi, or no network. You can control that so that you simulate that on your. That's inside your Visual Studio. You can simulate the network, the different network connections, and how would that affect your app performance. You can capture screenshots. Which is a very useful capture screenshots, especially when you're submitting your application on the store. You need screenshots with different sizes, so you can do that. Just in the additional tools you'll find under the screenshot. All you have to do, make sure that this is 100%. Just press on the zoom. You got 100% zooming, and then capture in different sizes depending on which screenshot you'd like to do. You can do the same actually on a real device. You can take a screenshot on a real device, which was not available on Windows Phone 7.x. All you have to do is press the power button and the Windows button simultaneously, and you can just share the screenshots on social networks and share the screenshot of your device. So that's what we've covered so far. Windows Phone 8 has a lot of new features. The shared core means that at a low level, components on the OS are the same between Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8. We support SAML plus managed, XNA and managed, direct 3D and native app development, and hybrids of those. The developed apps built for Windows Phone 7.1 in general run without modification or recompilation on Windows Phone 8. Any questions so far?
No, there's no questions.
Okay, just for reference, let me get out of the screen and share again with you my contact details. So okay, thanks Amin. So that's my Twitter name. Thanks Amin for sharing that. Thanks Amin, and thanks all for attending. And see you next week. We may have a guest speaker to talk about designing Windows Phone apps. I'll double check with him today. We'll send you the full details today through the newsletter, and we'll tweet about the next session. Please share the slides and presentation link on Twitter. Okay, we'll do Bilal. We'll do that. Okay, thank you all for attending. And see you next week. Can we attend this webinar in Hindi? I'm sorry, I don't speak Hindi. I just speak English, Arabic. I know a bit of French, so. But please feel free to if you'd like to take this session and kind of make a copy in Hindi, I would love to have that if you want. Please do that. And share with me the link if you do it. I'd love to see that. Thanks all. See you. Bye bye.